Hey y'all, what's up with it? This West Oakland Films, and we are live tonight at 1 o'clock, uh 1 o'clock time. And we gonna put the mic up here, man. You feel me? So what we gonna be talking about today is people with spiritual gifts, people with spiritual knowledge, people that have knowledge that don't nobody know about. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna be talking about today. Um, excuse me. Because the reason why young Dolph name is in the caption is because young Dolph had a spiritual gift. People with spiritual gifts see things and do things differently from others. They don't see the world the same as you. They're ahead of their time. They see things for being real. That's what they see things for. You know what I mean? It's not nothing fake when it comes to people who spiritual. It's real. Most people that's spiritual, they get called out as crazy because people don't understand them. So when you don't understand something, what you gonna call it? You call it crazy, right? Right. So before we start this show, I want to start off with doing a disclaimer. We doing this we doing this live, and it's for educational purposes only. And my disclaimer is under the Copyrights Act 107, and it's for comments, criticism, educational scholarships, and alleged information, freedom of speech, and comments, like I said, and criticism. So, and this is fair under the Fair Act, the Fair Use Act. We're going to be using this. And from here on, everything that we say here on is alleged. I also been promoting this artist, and we're going to promote her. She got a song. She got a lot of songs. So many. I'm trying to figure out which one to play. Maybe that has something to do with this show. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy how people like call people crazy who I'm gonna play this one. They call people crazy. This is a snippet. That's it, y'all. It was just a little snippet, and I wanted to. Ooh, my allergies is really, 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 really messing up today. Ooh, 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 ooh. Cause this weather be changing. It be so different, You can't get my mind, my brain can't keep. Okay, here goes the disclaimer right here, just so we can put it up on the screen. You feel me? That's our disclaimer, and we finna go on with the show. And as the show go on, I'm gonna stop it and I'm gonna comment. And if you wanna leave a cash app, you can do so by Swiss Barbie Bone. Well, it's $ Swiss Barbie Bone Doll. Okay? So that's just if you want to leave something. But if not, just please like and subscribe and share. I would really appreciate that. And thank you all for coming in. I really appreciate you. We're trying to get up these subscribers. We got a lot of subscribers that then came in, and I really appreciate y'all for coming in like that. I really do. You don't know how much I appreciate it. Okay? So, here we go.
Hello, powerful galactic beings. Welcome back to another.
And as you can see, most of these people that they showed was people with color.
Video. All people are gifted in one way or another. There are gifts that are visible and easy to express and recognize, but there are also these subtle, dormant gifts that make us stand out.
So all people are gifted. So everybody got a gift. But some people are spiritually gifted.
The crowd and sometimes even feel supernatural and eccentric.
It's called supernatural or eccentric, which eccentric means crazy. I'm going to just keep it real. It means crazy. That's just a fancy way of saying crazy. Look it up in the dictionary.
Gifts like those are the spiritual ones. And while spirituality is often connected with development and personal growth that should make us rise above the common problems and issues, spiritual gifts can sometimes be a tough bite to swallow. If you possess one and want a normal life, you need to learn to manage your gift and take control over things. Spiritual giftedness is not as easy to identify as gifts in the sciences or humanities, and apart from the Nobel Peace Prize, there is little in the way of awards or accolades for those whose gifts lie in the spiritual realm. The spiritual dimension is a capacity.
See what I'm saying? So when you hear somebody coming up to you and they talking some stuff and you may not understand it, maybe you should listen to that person and dig into what they saying, because they evolved. They on another higher level than you might be on at that time. And it's not because they better than you. It's not because they want to be better than you. It's not because of any of that. You know, it's because the person sees some things in you, like young Dolph, for instance. He sees some things in you that you might not see. Not right now. He might could teach you, he might could show you, and you may still not see, but they could see it. So I'm gonna just continue on to let it, but that's why I wanted to talk about this, because this was the type of person young Dolph was. He did things that people didn't see. It was unorthodox. It might have not looked like what he was trying to do.
We all possess, and as with any area of human endeavor, there are those who have advanced ability in this realm. Too often these people are ignored, overlooked, and misunderstood. This is especially the case for spiritually gifted.
See what I'm saying? Most of these people are ignored or misunderstood. And this is for the case of mostly all the gifted people, because people want to call them crazy instead of thinking they're smart. They just got a gift.
Young people. Yet their gifts are evidence of the capacity of the human spirit to transcend the mundane, to replace bitterness, isolation, ego, and contempt with compassion, wisdom, and awareness that all is connected. If you are spiritually gifted, you are determined to connect with your higher self. You want better change now, no excuses to habits, patterns, or ways in which you do things. You are often reflective, and this kind of reflection is more like binary math. When in balance, your inner child accepts it as it should be. They will be direct in telling you what you have out of balance with yourself, and do this out of love, not brutality or rebellion. The pain of others deeply distresses you if you are highly spiritual. Other people can read about.
See, I want to rewind that real quick, just for a minute, so y'all can understand what they just said. Because he talking about a person like young Dolph. Person is spiritual, a person that brings people together, a person that see things that you don't see. You know what I'm saying? That feel you, that look at you in the hood, that want to see better things for you. that want to see you out the hood. He just had a gift.
You want better change now. No excuses to habits, patterns, or ways in which
Want better changes, no excuses.
you do things. You are often reflective, and this kind of reflection is more like binary math. When in balance, your inner child accepts it as it should be.
See, his inner child, you notice he always talked about his childhood. He always talked about his childhood.
Will be direct in telling you when you have out of balance with yourself, and do this out of love, not brutality or rebellion. The pain of others deeply distresses
See, he did nothing out of rebellion. It was all out of love.
you if you are highly spiritual. Other people can read about war erupting on the other side of the world and go about their day, barely even thinking about it again. But for you, it's not.
So that's just like, certain people in this case, they had no remorse. They had no restraint. They had nothing. They still don't. They just disrespectful, make cookies out of people's names and all that because they have no remorse.
Just words or images on a screen. It's people in pain, families torn apart, and lives ending. It's deeply painful.
See? You see what I'm saying? Deeply painful.
For you, and it's not something you want to experience. Being spiritually gifted means you are more in touch with the feelings and emotions of others than those around you, even if those people are thousands of miles away. You can feel clustered pain and fatigue.
That's like a gift that everybody received because 1,000 miles away from young Dolph, it's thousands and millions of people all over the world could feel his pain. But it was a couple of people in his city that didn't feel no pain at all.
And you suffer just from the knowledge of it. Spiritually gifted people have comforting aura. People often go to you when they need help processing their feelings or venting about their frustrations. You are there to listen to them, and when they need it, you provide helpful wisdom. Eventually, you can see them release their tensions when they are with you. They become more casual in their tone and posture around you. That's because you have such a comforting aura. People might have even pointed it out. They often say they feel comfortable around you, even if you have just met. Others feel calm around you. Just as you bond easily with animals, you also bond easily with humans. But people are more complicated. There are emotions and social structures that keep people apart from each other, which animals don't.
You see what I'm saying, y'all? So basically, what they're saying is an animal got more emotions than people. People don't have the same type of emotions as this motherfucker, because a person been and said, it ain't you, it ain't you, it ain't you. But it's other people out there that be like, oh man. And they feel it, they serious, they real. And it's really people out there with this spiritual knowledge.
Don't think about
our being.
But one way you do affect people clearly and undeniably is through the sense of calm you seem to emanate around you, which calms down everyone in your presence.
So basically, you ever been around somebody and when you get around them, you just comfortable. As soon as you meet them, it feel like you just been knowing them forever. And then you get around certain people and you can feel that their energy ain't right. Something ain't right with them, and you could try to change them, but they're not going to change. Trust me. They'll be right in your face. Keep on doing it until you thinking they getting away with it. They think they enjoy that. That's their, personality.
You have been told regularly throughout your life that you make people feel at ease. You have a calm foundation that others lack, helping people slow down, get their feet back on the ground, and remember themselves, even during the most stressful.
So yeah, y'all, that's what I'm talking about. So young Dolph was one of them type of people. It's a lot of people like that out there.
Spiritual or spiritually gifted, you can be explosively emotional. But your spiritual calmness isn't always around, because you can be equally emotionally explosive. One minute you might be chill and at ease, and the next minute you are bouncing off the walls in anger. This is one of the few downsides of being spiritually gifted. Your emotions aren't always your own, and you don't always understand them. You are sensitive to the vibrations around you. As a spiritually gifted person, you can easily connect with other dimensions and realms of consciousness. Of course, we are all multidimensional beings, but for highly spiritual people, they find themselves switching between different dimensions at will. Also, you experience vivid dreams often. Spiritually gifted people have an intimate...
So, once again, spiritual people, you got to listen to your dreams, because a lot of spiritual people have dreams and goals, and they see things that you do not see, You know what I'm saying? They see things that you do not see, and you might think they crazy because they see it and you don't. But they not crazy. They just have a higher elevation in life. They have evolved. Okay? So that was young Dolph. You know, and it also said you be acting different sometimes because it's different personalities come inside of you. And sometimes maybe that's why he liked it to be by himself, because he observed all this energy and he gathered up the energy and then it affects him. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's just good to be by myself so I can be in tune with myself, because I got to get back in tune with myself when you a spiritual being, or you will go crazy, like they just said.
Relationship with the act of dreaming. Your connectedness with the spirit world means that you have easy access to those other realms, and you look into them through dreams. You also seem to have visions during your dreams. You have dreamt premonitions, dreaming of people you know and love getting hurt or falling into bad situations, only for something similar to happen to them soon after in real life. You imagine things people can't. Spiritually gifted people tend to be seen as more creative than others. That's because their ability to...
See, spiritual people is creative, more creative than others, too. So, you feel me? That's why losing young Dolph was a big thing, because he was spiritually, and he was the most spiritual. I'm not going to say that. I'll take that back because I don't know. Well, he had a gift. And allegedly, from what I see, he carried on a whole company and brought a whole bunch of people under him. And the reason why they was under him was for a reason. It wasn't because they was beneath him. It was because he the one had the spiritual gift. And he had to be a vessel, in a way, to help others see what he see. Because they can't see it if they ain't spiritual. Key Glock, on the other hand, he seemed like he got a natural spiritual being, and I can understand why God gave him one, because God already, history is written in advance, and God already knew that he was going to raise himself. So him and young Dolph had a lot in common, because they both kind of raised themselves, and they both were spiritual beings. Because like I said, you could take the body away, but you can't take the spirit away. Never. It'll jump into somebody else.
To imagine is one of their defining features. While others seem confined to thinking within the bounds of this world, spiritually gifted people can access entirely different worlds and universes of ideas. Being highly imaginative also helps spiritually gifted people with their plans in life. Since they often experience premonitions and visions about the future, they are able to plan around what they sense may happen. While others may not even consider all the worst-case scenarios of what might happen when they go up.
That's like Swiss Barbie Bomb, for instance, y'all. The girl we played. She been wearing colored hair. They called her crazy. They said, you know, something was wrong with her because she had all these colors in her hair. And she was like, shit, excuse my language. She was like, shoot. George Clinton had colors. It's an image, you know. But now the whole world is wearing colored hair. And the same people that called her crazy is wearing colored hair. And the same people men who called her crazy girlfriends is wearing colored hair. And every celebrity, every girl that then came out is looking. I bet you we could pull up something on her and she looking like that before them.
Out on a trip or
So that means she was ahead of her game, ahead of her time. She wasn't crazy. She was smart. She seen something before y'all seen it. Just like young Dolph.
an event, the spiritually gifted know what
Just like Mo3.
they need to do to avoid potential catastrophes.
Just like Tupac. Just like Nipsey Hussle. Just like Biggie. All these people were spiritual gifted people. They didn't have to steal. They wrote their own songs for real.
As a highly spiritual person, you have a strong intuition. By this I mean that your intuition is always on point. When you are faced with a tough decision, where others might panic and feel anxious, you don't feel all too worried.
See what I'm saying? So basically, when Dolph picked his artists out, he already, I'm going to let y'all hear what these people said again. He already knew, he could feel that this was right, even though he didn't feel, he might have felt that they was going to do something to him. He felt something because when you see him in that gas station, he feels something. He just, sometimes when you in the black culture, allegedly, you they don't celebrate this kind of stuff in our culture. They're scared of it. But if it was somebody in a different nationality, then they'll be like, oh, my kid got a gift. But in our culture, they call it crazy. But it's not. It's smart. It's a spiritual gift that God gave you.
When you are faced with a tough decision, where others might panic and feel anxious.
A tough decision where other people might panic or feel anxious and have a panic attack.
You don't feel all too worried.
That person don't feel worried when you spiritual.
It's as if you somehow already know which
because you already know what's going to happen.
Choice to pick and you don't find any reason to stress about it more. The spiritually gifted are able to somehow predict or see visions of the outcomes of their choices. Above rational thinking, they get a good gut feeling about what choice is going to bring them the most peace. They have powerful intuition, one that they rely on often in their daily lives. That's why spiritually gifted people are often also confident whenever they have to choose something. They already know the right answer before they're even asked. You feel energized late at night. You find yourself waking up between 3 and 4 a.m. often. What's your superpower? Our revealing new quiz will help you discover your hidden superpower and unlock your greatest gifts in life. While you might have gotten used to it, that hour of the day is actually spiritually charged. Between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning is believed to be called the witching hour. This is the time when the barrier
3 and 4 o'clock in the morning is the witch's hour. So that means most spiritual people wakes up at 3 and 4 in the morning because that is when your spiritual juices or your creative juices and all that, that's when it started coming. You know, if you're a songwriter, or even if you're not a songwriter and you don't know you're a songwriter, but you is. When things come to you, like songs come to you in your sleep, you got to wake up and write that stuff down because sometimes that's God giving you your powers because it comes at 3 and 4 in the morning.
Between the spirit world and the real world is at its thinnest.
The spirit world is at 3 or 4 in the morning at its thinnest.
You think it's because something went bump in your house or that your bladder is small, but that might not actually be the case. It might be because there are messages from the spirit world that you are receiving at that time. Constantly waking up between 3 o'clock and 4 a.m. is a sign of stronger connection with the etheric realm. Known as the witching hour, this specific time of the day is believed to be where the magical powers are at their strongest, which means it could boost
the magical powers is at their strongest, which means it can boost your momentum of knowing things.
Magical activity or make weird things happen. Thus, if you find yourself waking up or having difficulty sleeping between these hours, it could be a hint that you have a spiritual gift. Should this happen to you, instead of freaking out, do something that can enhance or tame your powers such as prayer or meditation. Animals have senses that are stronger than humans. They are able to smell emotions like anger or kindness. Because of this, they are able to sense our aura, which makes them gravitate towards someone who is spiritually gifted. They are attracted to
Yep.
Liquid liner goes hyper easy.
Yeah, they attracted.
safe in their company. You seem to have a way with animals that others don't. While they may bark and growl at others, when it comes to you, they become gentle and even obedient. It's often believed that animals are more sensitive to spirits. It's common to see dogs drawn to empty corners of the house. It's because they are able to sense the spiritual energy around them. So when they are with you, they can sense yours as well. You are able to connect with them that even trainers can't. Most often, spiritually gifted people attract strangers who need help or healing, whether that be physical, emotional, spiritual, or mental.
So basically, y'all hear that? They saying
Well, these people aren't downright insane. In fact, they are enlightened but unable to make sense of it yet. What they need is guidance from somebody more illuminated so their subconsciousness.
I missed that, y'all. Sorry.
When it comes to you, they become gentle and even obedient. It's often believed that animals are more sensitive to spirits. It's common to see dogs drawn to empty corners of the house. It's because they are able to sense the spiritual energy around them. So when they are with you, they can sense yours as well. You are able to connect with them that even trainers can't. Most often, spiritually gifted people attract strangers who need help or healing, whether that be physical, emotional, spiritual, or mental. On the other hand, people considered as crazy by the society may regularly come their way as well. These people aren't downright insane. In fact, they are enlightened but unable to make sense of it yet. What they need is guidance from somebody more illuminated so their subconsciousness leads them to people who are spiritually gifted and can juggle with things they cannot even understand. Spirituality is a deep feeling of compassion and unity and relatedness and connection with all of existence. Spirituality is the eternal yearning to be connected to something bigger than our own egos. These definitions emphasize the capacity for both connection and transcendence. To be spiritually gifted is to have an outstanding ability to transcend self-centered needs and wants, and to rise above the human tendency to divide people into groups of those who are worthy of care and respect, and those who are not. For the spiritually gifted, however, everyone is a candidate for compassion. The great Martin Luther King, Jr., for example, urged his supporters not to judge and criticize those who condemned them. Instead, he urged his followers to resist the tendency to put their opponents into a category of evil or ignorant. For him, this merely served to perpetuate the stereotypes and divisive binary.
So they talking about Martin Luther King now because he encouraged people not to criticize people who had a gift, you know, because these people is powerful. People with a gift is powerful. They don't even know their own powers, most of them. And the reason why they don't know their own powers is because they're born with this. This is something natural to them. It's not a power to them. It's just their natural way. And they're scared of it sometimes. And they don't really know what to do with it themselves. We'll keep on continuing.
Mentality that pitches groups against groups, races against races, and nations against nations. His heightened spiritual ability enabled him to exercise compassion towards even the most vociferous enemies. To recognize the spiritually gifted adult is easier to do, as the...
You see what I'm saying? That's young Dolph right there. He was able to rise above his enemies and even deal with his enemies and have his enemies closer. You don't know what his plan was or is or gonna be because the spirit is still here. You see what's happening.
Their actions in the world speak volumes about their capacity for connection and transcendence. Identifying children who are spiritually gifted is a more challenging task as state schools are generally not well suited to enhancing the spiritual dimension. The following serves as a helpful starting point.
See, you can't learn this in schools. This is not learned in schools. They said that most people with this gift have to find somebody else with a gift that's higher and a higher power than theirs, or else that person ain't gonna understand them or even be able to like relate to this person. They might be able to relate on a different level, because people with spirituality, they know how to come down to your level because they already know people don't understand it and ain't used to it and not gonna be receptive to this the way that you have been brought up, because you have this gift. It ain't your fault. God gave it to you. Talk to him.
People with spiritual gifts have the ability to induce heightened consciousness through deliberate techniques. They may meditate or have an active fantasy life that blurs the distinctions of so-called reality. They have a wisdom beyond their years. They may ask penetrating questions of purpose and meaning from an early age, and are able to connect to some infinite energy. The spiritually gifted also feel strongly connected to the world around them in addition to their inner self, other people, and the universe. Such a strong connection to all of existence and heightened empathy for living beings are not unusual. Some gifted people feel very much in harmony with the universe. They experience a sense of transcendence with the infinite, whatever they define that to be. This depth of
That's why Dolph gave out. He was a humanitarian. Yes, a philanthropist. Yes. That's why he did all them things, because that's why he gave away turkeys and went to the cancer society and gave away money and went to the schools and gave concerts out and gave people free this and free that and put people on, even his enemies. He was trying to stop something. He had a greater cause. But like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, you know what I'm saying, and Irv Gotti. What is his name? Marcus Garvey. Everybody had a bigger thing that they was looking at, and you had to understand it to know it.
connection cannot be underestimated, and the gifted need the opportunity to express and act upon such strong feelings.
That's why certain people surround themselves around certain people. You know what I mean? Like even me, I feel like I got a gift, but because of all these things that I'm hearing. But the thing about it is, sometimes I don't want to be around. I can feel the energy before it comes, or I already know something before they call me, or it's just certain energy that throws my balance off, that I don't want to be around that energy. It's just not the type of energy I'm really wanting to be around at this time. Maybe when I'm in a better, stronger mindset in my spiritual realm to deal with that kind of stuff. Because right now, my spiritual realm is dealing with so much other things, because like they say, you gravitate to all these spirits and all this energy and stuff. Sometimes you got to just be by yourself to let all this stuff off. You got to pray it off for you because it's strong.
Spiritually gifted people are usually highly sensitive. They feel cruelty and injustice at local and global levels. They cannot turn a blind eye to the suffering of others, whether it is domestic violence in the neighborhood or genocide in parts of Africa. They ache at the thought of children losing their youth as they are forced to join armed militia. They despair at the news of thousands of more troops being sent to Afghanistan. And they are appalled by the misery of human existence in overcrowded refugee camps. Parents and teachers can support children with spiritual gifts in various ways. It is important to help children realize that they can make a contribution that underlines our connection to one another. Parents and teachers can also encourage times of stillness and silence where children can become transfixed and unfettered by timetables and so.
But they don't. That's the thing, they don't. Parents and children, and teachers, parents and teachers, they think your gift is crazy. They think you crazy when you start talking some articulate stuff that they don't understand and they ain't never heard of, and they looking at you like you crazy and you don't know more than them. That's how it is in certain cultures.
Subject changes. They can provide creative outlets through the arts wherein children can become immersed in the art form with which they are engaged. They can provide stories about resilience in the face of unrelenting hardship and injustice, and they can provide environments where it is safe and acceptable to have the courage of one's convictions. Fear, regret, anxiety, bitterness, and self-consciousness cannot coexist with spiritual expression. We are in
See? That's why Dolph didn't see no evil. He didn't see that. He didn't talk about it. Because in his brain, it didn't function like that. See, everybody's brain functions different. And in his brain, since he was a spiritual being, this is the way he thought. This was his brain. This was his mindset.
Invariably in our calmest, strongest, and most accepting when we allow the spiritual dimension of our lives to flourish. And those with spiritual gifts in this realm offer healing, transcendence, and infinite wisdom. All too often, we seek answers and certainty in education. The spiritually gifted remind us to put aside constant analysis and savor our connections across time and place to the living and the immaterial world. Spirituality is the quest for connectedness with something larger than our egos, with our own souls, with one another, with the worlds of nature and history and literature, with the obligations, opportunities, and mysteries of being alive on the face of the earth. I hope this video was helpful to you. See you in the next video.
Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to, what is that? Finching TV. I don't know what it is, but it's FACHINATING TV. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout him out, and let y'all know that's where I got this content from. It's very spiritual, it's very real, and I didn't even see the whole thing. I was looking through some things, and then I seen 7 weird signs of chosen ones in proposing high physical abilities. This is 19 minutes. So we're going to look at a little bit of this, and then that's going to be it for the show. And I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And if you got special gifts, I hope this helped you out a little bit, because it helped me.
So,
Powerful souls, welcome back to another video. How do you know you possess high psychic abilities, or you are developing a high intensity of psychic ability? Most people leave through life without ever realizing how powerful and psychic they are. As spiritual beings, we possess unlimited abilities within us, but little or less do we utilize them to our own advantage. Because we are deeply distracted by the modern matrix system that we no longer look inward to tap into our innate power and abilities. No one is born without a unique quality. Some indigo star seeds have telekinetic abilities, while some have psychokinetic abilities and many more. But
Telekinetic abilities and psychic abilities. I can't even pronounce them words because they so big and I just can't pronounce them. But y'all heard what he said, right? Teleco abilities and monaco abilities. Those are the abilities that psychic people have. Psychic people are special people. They can be helpful in a lot of ways. They read people, they feel people, they know people's what am I trying to say? They know people's they know people's personality before you would even think about them knowing it. Like they can read you right off the bat. It don't take long at all for a psychic person to know you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's good about a psychic person. A psychic person, a psychic person can help you out. You know what I'm saying? A psychic person can show you what it's all about. And most people don't want to believe the psychic people. And the reason why they don't want to believe the psychic people is because they don't want to believe in it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to believe somebody possesses that much power. But it's not really power. It's a gift. It's something spiritual that God gave you. It's powerful, but it's not power. It's powerful. You know what I'm saying? And people got to realize the difference between the two, because it's a difference between the two. You know what I'm saying? And I just want y'all to understand that. You feel me? Just understand it. And that's all you could do. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's all you could do with the psychic. When you got psychic power, like I said, most people in our culture don't know about no psychic power. You know what I mean? They don't know about it. Our family ain't interested in it. They just think you're crazy and keep on moving. But here we go. This is for you people who need some knowledge on psychic people. Because like I said, young Dolph had a psychic. He had a spiritual, not a psychic, a spiritual gift.
In this video, we will be dealing with 7 weird signs you possess a high psychic ability which you have not yet realized. First and foremost, who is a psychic? A psychic is a person who professes an ability to perceive information hidden from the normal senses through extrasensory perception. So psychic abilities are the ability to surpass the physical
extrasensory perception.
Is an ability to perceive information hidden from the normal senses through extrasensory perception. So psychic abilities are the ability to surpass the physical senses and receive information outside their normal range, that is from the metaphysical realm of existence.
Metaphysical realm of existence.
People perceive psychic abilities as a mesmerizing, astonishing, and highly desirable gift that only the star seeds possess. Psychic senses mimic the physical ones, and they are, number 1, clairvoyance. A psychic ability to see information invisible to the human eye, to receive visions. Probably the most glorified psychic ability that everyone seems to crave for and rave about. Number 2, clairaudience. An ability to hear outside the human audible range. It could be channeling when someone receives messages from the higher spiritual beings, angels or spirit guides, higher selves and souls, maybe even from God. Also talking to nature, spirits, fairies, gnomes, pixies, and others, listening and hearing plants and animals talk. Or it could be mediumship, connecting with the spirits on the other side.
See what I'm saying, y'all? That was called, let me see.
Number 2, clairaudience.
Clairaudience. Clairaudience, y'all. That's what it was called.
Number 4, claircognizance.
Claircognizance. I mean your brain. The cognizance. Okay, so let me see what number 3 is.
Connecting with the spirits on the other side. Number 3, clairsentience. A psychic ability
Clairsentience.
to feel energies, atmosphere around, Others' feelings and emotions, not necessarily only people, but a gift to tune into animals, plants, stones, etc., and know how they feel, if they are happy. Or feel the land and energies buried underneath the surface. Number 4. Claircognizance. This is a clear knowledge when someone receives downloads of information. When you ask them, how do you know? Their answer would be, I don't know, I just know. Number 5. Clairsalience. This represents clear smelling. People gifted with clear smelling can literally smell energies. That's where the saying, I smell a rat, came from. They can smell danger and they can smell presence of anger.
People can smell energies. People can smell energies. I smell a rat. So when you smell a rat, then you smell energies. You feel things. You hear things. You see things that other people don't see. It don't mean you crazy. It means you got a gift. Especially if you got all these. Clear, what was this? Clear silences?
When they turn around and breathe in the beautiful scent of flowers without an...
I want to hear what that was again, because I can't pronounce it.
Number 5. Clairsalience.
Clairsalience.
This represents clear smelling. People gifted with clear smelling can literally smell energies. That's where the saying, I smell a rat, came from. They can smell danger and they can smell presence of angels when they turn around and breathe in the beautiful scent of flowers without an obvious source. They can smell presence of departed loved ones, their favorite perfume or aftershave or tobacco, if the loved one had been a smoker. Number 6. Clairaudience. This signifies clear tasting, a rare ability to taste energies. For example, to feel the sweet taste of honey in your mouth, if everything is good, or have the sharp taste of lemon when life presents you with something sour, the lemon. How do I know if I have psychic abilities? The good news are that everyone has got psychic abilities dormant inside. Before you incarnated here on Earth, you browsed the universe as a spirit and used your psychic senses in your everyday life. Simply because you didn't have the physical eyes, ears, and nose, etc. But once you were born, the material reality kicked in, and your spirit was covered with the veil of illusion separating you from this.
Y'all see how they showed the picture of the lady with the natural, and then showed a child and talked about with the natural, like that was her when she was a child. I mean, subliminally, So that's it. So like I said, I want to go back a little bit so y'all can hear that last one.
Spiritual world.
This one right here.
Or tobacco, if the loved one had been a smoker. Number 6. Clairaudience. This signifies clear tasting, a rare ability to taste energies. For example, to feel the sweet taste of honey in your mouth, if everything is good, or have the sharp taste of lemon when life presents you with something sour, the lemon. How do I know if I have psychic abilities? The good news are that everyone has got psychic abilities dormant inside. Before you incarnated here on Earth, you browsed the universe as a spirit and used your psychic senses in your everyday life. Simply because you didn't have the physical eyes, ears, and nose, etc. But once you were born, the material reality kicked in, and your spirit was covered with the veil of illusion separating you from the spiritual world. When you were a little child, your psychic senses that you have been so used to served as an important source of information. A baby smiles and laughs staring at the empty space, but the baby sees an angel. Little kids can see fairies and unicorns. As time goes on, you move further away from who you really are and get so much involved and enveloped in the material world that your psychic senses become redundant and buried under the information perceived by your physical ones. The voice of your intuition gets quieter.
That's what I was talking about, y'all, when I said your family in our culture, they bury that away because they think that stuff is crazy.
And weaker. But your psychic senses are still there. They are alive. Also, the very fact that you are listening to this indicates that your psychic abilities raise their head and demand from you to acknowledge them. You are listening to this not by chance. One way of communication between you and your spiritual team is presenting you with the right information at the right time. However, what kind of psychic abilities do you have? Let's first talk about your psychic senses. Your psychic senses, according to the universal law, is within, so without are the identical copy and mirror your basic physical ones, which are sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and clairvoyance. Not all of them play the equal role in your life. One or two of your physical senses are dominant, which means you rely mostly on one or two senses to perceive the surrounding world, leaving others on the back burner. The general idea is that all of your senses are important. And you have to work on and develop the rudimentary senses if you want to build the true picture of the world. To illustrate the idea, imagine...
Yeah, y'all, it's deep. It's real deep. You know, and I hope y'all enjoying it. I hope y'all enjoying it. It's real deep around here. See, when you got psychic abilities, it could be real important for you. Who I'm missing? You're missing it.
Employ all of them to get the true story.
Let me go back.
Are sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and clairvoyance. Not all of them play the equal role in your life. One or two of your physical senses are dominant, which means you rely mostly on one or two senses to perceive the surrounding world, leaving others on the back burner. The general idea is that all of your senses are important. And you have to work on and develop the rudimentary senses if you want to build the true picture of the world. To illustrate the idea, imagine yourself on the phone with someone whom you never met before. You listen to his voice in a receiver, and your imagination draws an image of a short and stocky man with black hair. When you actually meet, you are surprised to see that in reality he is tall, skinny, and bold. Never rely on only one or two senses. Employ all of them to get the true story. Most of the people unknowingly prioritize sight, then come hearing and touch. We have to learn from animals' wisdom. Smell is the sense number one for them. Imagine a fox strolling through the forest. Time after time it stops, stretches the neck, and moves the nose, sniffing the air. The fox is getting a lot of information hidden from us through its nose. Your dog does a lot of sniffing in a walk. Animal males mark their territory to let other animals know through their noses whose territory it is. Modern men follow their ancient instinct when they chuck their aromatic socks everywhere in the house. They mark their territory with socks because their ladies would go mad if they tried to mark it in a traditional animal way. Their ladies go mad anyway. When two dogs meet, they sniff each other. People look at each other and talk. We don't use our noses a lot unless the smell is strong and hits our nostrils. And it would look funny and even rude if we tried to sniff someone. I read a piece of advice for ladies long time ago. If you find the natural smell of your partner, or a partner, to be absolutely repulsing when he sweats, you have to think twice. Your intuition warns you of something important to look into. And I recall another piece of advice I heard that has nothing to do with psychic or physical senses, but here we go anyway. How do you know if your sex life will be good with someone? Dance with him or her. Do you feel harmony? Do you move in unison? Let's return to our muttons, our physical senses. There are three distinctive groups of people formed accordingly to their dominant senses. Visual people, auditory ones, and kinesthetic ones. Visual people are a large group of people. Their dominant sense is the sight. They perceive the world mainly through their eyes. How do you recognize a visual person? Ask them a question and watch. Their eyes will move slightly up as if the answer they are looking for is...
Y'all, it's deep, right? It's real deep. I'm telling you, this stuff is real deep. And for you people that don't, know about it and got these type of problems, you know what I'm saying? It's important to know this kind of stuff.
written in the sky. It's easy to notice when you watch interviews on TV. The visual person looks slightly up before giving an answer. The visual person likes to maintain eye contact while talking to someone. If you avoid looking at their eyes, they think that you are shifty and hiding something from them. So they can't trust you. Whilst learning, they prefer visual information that they can see, for example, texts, charts, pictures. They get tired during the training sessions when a trainer is waffling on about something for ages. They get bored of endless talk and lose track. Show them something like videos and pictures. They use a lot of variations of the word to see. I see. Have you seen? Now comes the auditory people. This group of people is smaller. They live in the world of sounds.
Okay. This type of person is a lot of people, they call this dyslexic, but it ain't dyslexic, it's this.
It's easy to notice when you watch interviews on TV. The visual person looks slightly up before giving an answer. The visual person likes to maintain eye contact while talking to someone. If you avoid looking at their eyes, they think that you are shifty and hiding something from them. So they can't trust you. Whilst learning, they prefer visual information that they can see, for example, texts, charts, pictures. They get tired during the training sessions when a trainer is waffling on about something for ages. They get bored of endless talk and lose track. Show them something like videos and pictures. They use a lot of variations of the word to see. I see. Have you seen? Now comes the auditory people. This group of people is smaller. They live in the world of sounds. You can easily recognize an auditory person as they walk towards you on the street with earbuds and their ears dissolved in music. When you ask the auditory person a question, their eyes slide, and sometimes head turns slightly to the side as if towards their ears. As if their ears will provide them with an answer. They avoid eye contact and feel uncomfortable when someone looks straight at their face. A visual person might think then that the auditory one is not genuine, false, and deceitful. The visual person wants to shout at them, "Look at my eyes," and labels the auditory one as a slippery, shady, and fishy person. But they are not. They are just different. They are just auditory people. The auditory people feel lost in the charts, pictures, but as you guessed already, their ears make wonders for them whilst learning. Listen to the auditory people. They would use a lot different variations of the word to hear, I heard, have you heard, and so on. Now comes the kinesthetic people. Quite a few people are kinesthetic. Their main senses are touch, smell, and taste. Kinesthetic means moving, and a kinesthetic person's world is ever moving, changing, the world of motion. When I can see someone whom I know from far away, on the horizon, I can't recognize them. But when they start moving, even if they're like a little dot, I can tell straight away who it is, despite myself being as blind as a bat. Another key word to understand kinesthetic people better is feeling. They perceive the world through their feelings and are so-called touchy-feely people. How do you recognize a kinesthetic person? Ask them a question, and their eyes will go down, not looking at anything. They go inside to search for an answer. When you talk to a kinesthetic person, sit down next to them, let them to feel you. They share the same quality with the auditory people. They don't like staring at them either. Kinesthetic people gaze softly over you and the space in front of them. What makes their learning process easier? They write down to memorize information, their hand with a pen move. And secondly, they pace whilst learning or brainstorming, their feet are on the move. Imagine a creative person, let's say a poet pacing backwards and forwards from one corner of his room to the other, waiting for his muse to turn up. Then inspiration strikes, and he races off to his computer and starts typing fiercely. That's our kinesthetic person. I just caught myself eating an apple while writing this sentence down. So my jaws are moving to help me with process of the article creation. I mentioned already that kinesthetic people are touchy-feely, and physical touch is so important to them. The ultimate comfort means a lot for a kinesthetic person. Their ideal home would be packed with different textures promising riches of sensations, raw wood, stones mixed with the painted surfaces and wall coverings, softly draped curtains and voile and wooden shutters. Kinesthetic people would hate to sit on a bare sofa. The sofa of their dreams houses a multitude of cushions, providing the different tactile sensations as they run their hand along. For example, silk, velvet, smooth cotton, fluffy faux fur, maybe just ladies. The soft throws would be waiting for a kinesthetic person to keep them cozy and warm whilst they relax on the sofa. We are blessed to have 2 wood burners in our house. They do much more than just providing the heat. The energy feels wonderfully in the house. Kinesthetic people love houseplants, fairy lights, and keepsakes, again maybe just as ladies do, because they make them feel good and envelop in the lovely energies, creating their own sacred space, their home. Now we are back to your psychic senses. It's very easy. Your dominant physical sense indicates the psychic ability that is easiest to bring back for you. So if you are a visual person, and your eyes are the main source of information about the world.
So it's kinesthetic people. That's real touchy-feely people. And then it's people who communicate. So it's communication people who and they say touchy-feely people and communication people, they don't really trust each other and they always looking down. So, just to give y'all some idea about body language and stuff like that. Because I didn't understand. I understand body language, but I could be reading it wrong now that I look at this.
Then clairvoyance, or a psychic seeing, is the first psychic ability to go for. Are you an auditory person? Clairaudience is the ability to choose to develop first. A kinesthetic person. The whole bunch of psychic abilities is yours. Clairsentience means clear feeling. Claircognizance represents the clear knowledge. Clairsalience signifies the clear smell, and the clairgustance means the clear taste. It doesn't mean you have got only one or a couple of psychic abilities. It only means that it is your strongest psychic sense that would make a sense to concentrate on first. You can achieve results quicker. Then you can get on with other psychic abilities. Now, how can you know that your psychic abilities are awakening? You can see something that you are not supposed to see with your human eyes. Maybe a vague figure or flashes of light. Often you can see it out of the corner of your eye. I normally don't see anything too special in my physical life. Thank God for that, because when I do, it's always unexpected and startles me. Sometimes I spot a figure in a flash, for a fraction of a second. A couple of days ago, I was about to walk through the doorway when a dark figure appeared just in front of me, obstructing it. I couldn't stop and walked automatically through that figure. It felt wacky afterwards. I guess they are spirits with quite low and dense vibrations, so I am able to see them with my eyes. Perhaps spirits that couldn't cross over. Have you got unusual dreams? You saw something that later was played on in reality. To dream of something vaguely familiar that you feel you already have experienced.
So, yeah, that's in your self-conscious mind. But basically, he gonna say that probably. I don't know what he gonna say, but I'm gonna listen to him. But what I'm saying is, when you see the dead or communicate with the dead is what he's talking about. Like y'all just heard that, right? I think that's somebody dead that's communicating with me. I don't know who it is. But y'all heard that. So ain't nobody, you feel me? So anyway.
Experienced, but on the other hand, you know it has never happened before. Do you often experience recurring emotionally intense dreams? Maybe dreams of your past lives, especially when you were a kid. Do some thoughts pop into your head that feel alien to you? It's not your way of thinking. Then someone, your angels or spirit guides, upload the information inside your mind. Or you ask yourself a question, and you instantly know the answer. It could be as if someone whispered the answer in your ear. Sometimes it could be as simple as yes or no. Or you can feel it with your gut's feeling. Can you feel what another person feels? You can scan practically everyone on the bus stop and describe a whole.
That's kind of like when you taking a test, right? And you don't really know the answer, but somebody, you like, okay, I'm gonna put this answer because something tell you to just put that answer. And then when the answer is right, you know that, you know what I'm saying, the spirit or somebody told you that because you know you didn't know that answer. That's just an example.
array of their feelings and emotions. Can you smell something with no obvious source of smell? You can smell the beautiful perfume, the flower scent, an angel came to visit you. Or you can smell something rotting from nowhere, which can often mean a low vibrational spirit is around you. Now, how do you develop your psychic abilities? Once again, psychic abilities developing and walking the spiritual path are intertwined together. You will have to meditate.
Okay, y'all. I need y'all to put up them likes and subscribe to the channel. I'm giving y'all some good information. Before we do this anymore, y'all like the channel. Make sure y'all like the channel. Make sure y'all like the channel. Make sure y'all push like. It's free. It's free. You know what I'm saying? All right.
I haven't started meditating till I was...
You are watching Swiss Barbie Bone Films television show.
Or you can smell something rotting from nowhere, which can often mean a low vibrational spirit is around you. Now, how do you develop your psychic abilities? Once again, psychic abilities developing and walking the spiritual path are intertwined together. You will have to meditate. I haven't started meditating till I was in my early 20s. Meditating seemed some sort of a funny business to me then. Until I enrolled into the untraditional healing classes, and meditation played quite an important role in these classes. So, I was forced to give it a go. First I thought I would pretend, close my eyes and think of something like what I'm going to cook for dinner. But soon the dinner flew out of my head. I couldn't help but be drawn in. A couple of these meditations were absolutely amazing.
So they saying, how do you tap into your psychic abilities? Basically, you got to meditate. That's number one. Let me see what else he gonna say.
Still remember them, they shook me to the core. As you meditate and clear the old pattern, your psychic abilities get stronger. Your clairvoyance increases. At this point, you might start seeing spirits when you don't expect that. It's quite spooky when a figure pops into your vision field. Your clairaudience develops as well. You won't cope well with the noises, loud music. You will feel that you want to cover your ears with hands to stop the noise smashing your head from inside. When someone asked me what would I like to listen to, I answered, silence. Also, you will experience ringing in your ears. Your clairsentience will increase. You will become so sensitive that you would feel a whole spectrum of negative feelings, emotions, and physical sensations of others like your own. You will often feel your heart breaking down for others. That's uncomfortable to say at least. I stopped watching TV. I feel hit by the waves of violence and cruelty emanated from the television. I don't read newspapers, they are so negative, and had to narrow down my book's choice to the spiritual ones only. At this point, your Cognizance will move to the next level. You might receive disturbing knowledge.
So basically, they're saying, when you do your meditation, you got to watch the people and the energy and the things that you see and watch on TV and the things you listen to in your ear, the flavor in your ear. You got to watch all that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're saying that is a big thing to affect you, to bring negative things in your mind, even though you're going to have when you start meditating, you start thinking of everything, all the negative, all the positive, everything. Also, your clairsalience will increase. I don't really appreciate when the disgusting smell suddenly hits my nostrils without any obvious reason. I know then that a low vibrational spirit tries to approach me. You will notice as brighter your light shines, as more attention you will attract from spirits. They will be drawn to you literally like moths fly to the light. The low vibrational spirits are often trapped here, and so-called earthbound spirits hope that you can help them. Unfortunately, they also hope to get energy from you to sustain their etheric body. Use some form of psychic protection then. You might simply say in your head, I am the gold ray of the Most High, and you will be protected. So, this is something to keep in mind. They said you must say. I'm going to play that again.
and so-called earthbound spirits hope that you can help them. Unfortunately, they also hope to get energy from you to sustain their etheric body. Use some form of psychic protection then. You might simply say in your head, "I am the gold ray of the Most High," and you will be protected. So, this is something to keep in mind about the psychic abilities. Do I personally ever regret going for the psychic abilities? Never, not for a minute. On the brighter side, developing your subtle senses will bring into your life so much joy and love that you never could experience on Earth, on condition you communicate with higher beings of light only. It will change your life forever, and you will never look back. I don't miss TV, newspapers, meat, milk, alcohol, to name a few. Yes, psychic abilities definitely changed my lifestyle and my habits, but no regrets whatsoever. But I still firmly believe that psychic abilities development goes hand in hand with spiritual development. They are two parts of the same process. That's the most natural way to bring your psychic abilities back. Concentrating on your main psychic ability. You have figured out what your main psychic ability is, haven't you? Focus on it first, then you can pay attention to others. If you are a visual person, for instance, and your dominant psychic ability is clairvoyance, start with developing your psychic vision. I hope this video was really helpful. Subscribe and share it.
So once again, that was from the same person, y'all. And I just wanted to share that with y'all because, you know, it's crazy. It's really crazy. And people do be having psychic and spiritual abilities, and they don't be knowing about them. And they be thinking they're crazy, but they really don't be crazy. They just be. Oh, I got one more we want to watch. It's 7 weird signs your third eye chakra is blocked. How to unblock it. I want to just play that one. It's 12 minutes, and then we out.
Synchronicities.
Hello, powerful galactic beings. Welcome back to another video. The third eye chakra allows perception of the world beyond just your physical senses. This is an essential depth of perception if you seek to consciously manifest and understand your life experiences, so as to be able to perceive how everything you experience fits into a bigger picture understanding. A blocked third eye chakra will decrease the quality of your life experience and slow down the process of spiritual awakening. Knowing the signs that this chakra is blocked will hopefully assist you in identifying areas and habits that you may need to reevaluate, choices that you need to become more conscious of in order to open this center and experience full and empowered awareness. Blocked chakra is just one way to describe it.
I hope chakra. I hope this is helpful to you guys.
Out of alignment or unhealthy energy center. These blockages can manifest due to either overactivity or underactivity. An overactive or underactive third eye chakra is in need of balance. Bringing your energy and health into balance will remove and protect you from such blockages. So, here are some of the signs that your third eye chakra may be blocked. Number 1. You have a feeling of disconnection from your clear intuition or instincts. The third eye chakra is an energy center that, when in balance, is receptive to our natural, clear, intuitive nature. Intuition can be understood as your reliable inner voice or inner knowing. It can provide you with the highest version of insight and beneficial guidance in all aspects of your life. Instinct is also known as the sixth sense, which is the innate wisdom we have that affects our response to various life experiences. Feeling disconnected from intuition and instincts can have you feeling very confused about your life purpose. When you feel like you do not have access to, or struggle to hear this internal guidance, it may be a strong indication that your third eye energy center is blocked. This kind of blockage could also show up as struggle or a fear of trusting your intuition or instinct.
So your third eye could be blocked, y'all.
Which is offering the perspective of your highest self. Number 2. You feel disconnected from other people. The active third eye chakra is well known to encompass the feeling and experience of oneness or unity consciousness. This is due to the frequency that it allows you to perceive, which is one of understanding and acceptance of duality. It allows us to make sense of the validity of the seemingly polarized perspectives that exist in our world. It also will allow you to see the perfection in your path and the paths of each person you come into contact with, seeing each unique path as interconnected. Gaining an understanding of how the various beings and experiences we have are vital to our growth and evolution. If these concepts sound foreign, and you are feeling disconnected from people around you or other humans, it could be a strong indication your third eye is blocked or imbalanced. The blockage can cause you to view the world from a perspective of complete separation or unconscious ego, which can also bring about feeling of loneliness, isolation, and disillusion in relation to experiencing meaningful connections with the humans around you. Through clearing blockage, you will allow yourself to once again experience the feeling of community and belonging. This clearing can be achieved through using the various techniques for awakening the third eye chakra, which is linked at the very end of this video. Number 3. You have a feeling of disconnection from nature. As explored in the previous point, the third eye chakra is a center of unity consciousness that does not only include human beings but most definitely includes our beautiful home planet of Mother Earth. Seeing through this spiritual eye, we can become more aware of how we are inextricably interwoven as part of nature, which is what truly makes possible our survival and thriving on Earth. When you feel disconnected or unaware of the power and importance that nature constantly provides us with, it can be a sign of an imbalance of your third eye energy center. If this is part of your experience, I would recommend practicing the third eye awakening techniques such as meditation and breath work, specifically in a natural environment. You may also greatly benefit from intentionally working with plant medicines. Number 4. You find yourself unconsciously slip into judgmental thoughts. It is easy to constantly unconsciously judge other people's choices and actions. This could just be mentally in our internal chatter or quite verbally by having strong polarized opinions and prejudices. It is of course necessary to be discerning, but you will know if you are in the headspace of being unjustifiably or excessively judged.
Let's stop here, because I want to talk about that. So, because I know everybody feeling this. Like, right now, you know how sometimes, shoot, you don't trust people. You feel imbalanced. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know why. Sometimes you just want to be alone, but you don't know why. You don't know why you get these feelings, why this is coming along, why this is happening. You don't know why, right? But the reason why is because, or allegedly the reason it could be, is because your chakra is off. And you got to get it back on. You know what I'm saying? When you're judging people and you go places and you feel alone and you don't, and then you're judging other people, but it's really you. And it's because the energy and the chakra of your own self and your third eye is blocked.
Judgmental. This energy of judgment is the result of an inability to accept duality and uniqueness. It is also the result of being blocked off from unity consciousness. In the previous points, we learned how the third eye chakra is the center of these energies, and therefore if your third eye is blocked, you may find yourself being unnecessarily judgmental. Number 5. You experience an intense sensitivity to light. It is well known that the organ linked to the energy of your third eye is the pineal gland. Found in the very center of your brain, the pineal gland is highly light sensitive, as one of its primary functions is the production of melatonin, which regulates our circadian rhythms, and which is influenced by the light that we are exposed to. It is healthy for this organ to experience the natural cycles of light, especially sunlight. If you find that you are extremely sensitive to natural light, especially low or filtered light, it may be that you might have some imbalance within your third eye energy center. It can be helpful to train your body to get used to healthy amounts of natural light, starting with indirect sunlight and moonlight. You can also practice sun gazing during the beginning and closing times of sunrise and sunset. Ideally, the first and last hours of sunlight. Sun gazing is a well-known practice utilized since ancient times to activate and stimulate the third eye chakra. Number 6. You experience insomnia or sleep imbalances. As mentioned in the previous point, the pineal gland produces melatonin, which is the neurotransmitter that regulates our sleep cycles, which is also known as the circadian rhythm. As the pineal gland is the physical manifestation of your third eye energy, an unhealthy or blocked pineal gland can affect production or release of melatonin, which can seriously mess up your sleeping patterns, causing common problems like insomnia or constant lethargy.
So that's if you having a sleeping problem, this can also help you with your sleeping problem. See, people think that everybody don't have a third eye, but your third eye and your chakra is very important. And the reason why it's important and the reason why the sun is important is because this helps generate all these things. Without the sun and without the meditation and out the natural fruits of the flowers and the plants and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of hard for your chakra to open. And when you have sleep habits, you can't sleep well. You're sleeping all kind of nights. That gives you insomnia. And you can't sleep. You wake up in the middle of the night. You can't sleep. You know what I'm saying? So you wake up and then you sleep all types of different hours. But they did say when you wake up at 3 and 4 in the morning, that means that's the most powerful time to wake up. If you're waking up, that means you got some type of spiritual. You a spiritual being. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all this stuff is very helpful. Even if you don't want to practice it, if you're having some of these symptoms, you know, it's really important. If you having some of these symptoms, you know, this is good for you. This is what you should do. Okay? So we're going to go back into it.
If you struggle with your sleep cycles, it could very well be a sign that part of the problem is a blocked third eye chakra. It could also be that inadequate time is being dedicated to quality sleep as well as exposure to excessive unnatural light. Both these factors can aggravate this third eye blockage. Number 7. You experience unexplained depression, anxiety, and feelings of sadness. The pineal gland also plays a role in the production of the hormone serotonin. Serotonin is also known as the happy hormone, which affects our brain chemistry and has a direct impact on our moods and emotions. A pineal gland or third eye which is not functioning in a balanced manner can impact your moods intensely. This can be due to the serotonin imbalance, which is caused by the pineal gland not functioning in an optimal state. And also, because of the energetic block that could have you feeling disconnected from people, nature, and from perceiving your inner truths. A blocked third eye can, therefore, be a cause of some of your unexplained anxieties or feelings of depression. You will benefit greatly from the conscious practice of breath work, which is known to stimulate the pineal gland physically to produce these neurotransmitters that keep our brain in an optimal happy state and make it much easier to transcend these heavier experiences and emotions. When your third eye is blocked, you might as well experience an underactive imagination. Through awakening your third eye chakra, you gain a great ability to intricately perceive life and its infinite potentials. This experience of expanded and integrated consciousness gives rise to innovative, interesting ideas and thoughts, which can manifest in various forms. This is the energy of an awakened creative mind.
So you hear me? Y'all can get creative when y'all do this. This is how you bring your creative juices out.
If you feel like you have trouble with visualization, creative problem solving, artistic creation, and maybe even get bored easily, this can be because you have an underactive imagination. This underactive imagination may be due to a blocked third eye chakra. I find it quite exciting to know that no one lacks.
Y'all feel me? This should be real. Ooh, it be real. This stuff be real. Shoot. I'm telling you. This is some stuff that in our culture, we don't learn. They don't teach you this in school. They teach you a little bit of this in psychology, but they don't go this deep.
So, after identifying some of the major reasons why your third eye energy center may be blocked, it's important to look at why your perception and thinking became stuck and unclear. You can start to ask yourself, what is driving and directing my choices? Do I feel any pressure to be a certain way, to act in a particular manner? Is this pressure coming from within or from external factors? What unpleasant feelings and sensations get stirred up? Where do I feel this in my body? How do I handle these sensations? Do I distract myself from them, or avoid them, or transfer them onto others? Or take them as truth? What happens when I watch, feel, and let my emotions flow through my experience without acting upon them? With more time, you can start to truly feel your emotions, settle, and act from a place of calm confidence. This helps you to reconnect with your authentic voice. You will be better able to take control of the reins of your life and move onwards graciously, with conscious and intentional decisions. Some of the ways you can get more energy flowing through any chakra blockages are with other practices of deep internal introspection. This can be addressed with formal therapy, personal inquiry, intentional meditation practices, breathwork exercises, disciplined athletic training, sound healing, and a very calm immersions in nature. You need to get in and start looking at your thoughts, beliefs, patterns, and behaviors. Try to understand where your fear lies, where your prejudices build up, and what triggers you to become anxious, angry, and uneasy. From there, we can meet these harsh attitudes and energy blockages with self-compassion. As you get to know them more deeply, you can gain fresh perception again and recalibrate your system. This is a lifelong journey of learning and readjusting. Remember that nothing happens quickly. This change will be a gentle and subtle shift deep within yourself and over a long period. According to William Blake, if the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, which is infinite. For man has closed himself up till he sees all things through narrow chinks of his cavern. As the energy in your third eye chakra starts to flow freely and smoothly again, you may feel a change in your mindset, sense of intuition, and overall mindset. When this aspect is in balance, you will feel like you can look at the world optimistically, recall details well, have clear, insightful, and wise insights, sleep easily and wake up feeling refreshed, be at ease with your decisions, embrace the diversity of conflicting opinions, and feel more connected to nature and yourself. As you connect more with your deep intuitive wisdom, whatever circumstances you face, you will be better able to cultivate and utilize a calm and clear attitude. You might come to feel more like a spiritually gifted person.
Y'all see what I'm saying? That's what y'all want. Y'all want to feel more empowered with yourself, especially you women out here.
When the third eye center is balanced, life doesn't seem particularly difficult or dramatic. It can appear amusing, delightful, and exciting. Looking deeper within will also inspire others around you to tune into a vision of the world filled with love, peace, and beauty. It's a process worth exploring. I hope you are inspired by this video. See you in the next video. Peace, love, and life.
Y'all, that was deep, wasn't it? 10 strange things you will experience if you have a third eye. This is the last one we're going to look at, y'all. The universe is talking to you. Signs and universities is talking with you. This is the last one we're going to watch, y'all. The last one.
Celebrate and save at Ashley's 70.
the non-physical, so long you are using your third eye to have the
I'm sorry, y'all.
Powerful divine beings, welcome back to another video. Some of us in the spiritual community often refer the third eye as something physical. It has nothing to do with the physical eye. It is metaphoric, and therefore can be referred as the window of the soul, or dimensions beyond the physical body. Third eye becomes active when a person becomes capable of withdrawing the consciousness from other physical senses. When this happens, one is not able to use the physical senses as long one is using the metaphysical third eye. This is because of the fact that the third eye uses our same conscious energy that is flowing in our 6 physical senses. You cannot use your physical eyes to see the non-physical, so long you are using your third eye to have the vision of other non-physical dimensions. Enlightened people are so capable to quickly switch between the use of physical eyes and third eye without even you noticing it. They can quickly see reality in inner spiritual dimensions and then shift to physical dimension through the physical eyes and vice versa. The third eye is an esoteric concept that was also used in the Dharmic spiritual traditions of India, being later mentioned in Buddhism and Hinduism as a key component of our energetic bodies. The third eye is said to be a gateway between the human beings and the spiritual realm. When opened, gives access to a state of higher consciousness. It is located in the Ajna Chakra, also known as the brow chakra, which is situated in the middle of the forehead. People whose third eye has opened are known as seers, due to the fact that they are able to see the subtle plans of reality, observing auras, chakras, and spiritual entities around us. The third eye governs certain organs such as the pineal gland, the base of the brain and third ventricle, and it also facilitates spiritual insights and the distribution of prana, divine energy, in the other parts of the body. It is said that an open third eye will make the person wiser and more in tune with the universe's plan, as well as increase intuition, telepathic and psychic abilities. The third eye usually opens when the person is ready to step on his or her spiritual path, and trust me, the universe has a plan about this moment. Everything happens exactly at the right time. Have you been experiencing any funny changes in your body and in the way you perceive life lately? Take a look at these 10 strange things you will experience if your third eye is opening. Number 1. You experience frequent headaches. As the third eye is opening, you may experience headaches quite often. At first, they might happen from time to time and can be rather mild, but gradually they will increase in both frequency and intensity. This is due to the fact that your Kundalini Energy is trying to activate the final stages of opening up your third eye. During this time, your Kundalini Energy is rising and building up near your pineal gland and third eye chakra. The Kundalini Energy is our spirit energy, that part of us which is reincarnating from one life to another and is usually located at the base of your spine. When the spiritual awakening starts to happen, this energy proceeds on its way up to your spine, activating your chakras one by one. Therefore, when your third eye is opening, it means you are quite far on your way to being fully awakened, and your Kundalini Energy will take its place in your third eye chakra. These headaches are nothing to worry about, and they can be soothed through meditation, and also by using any energetic healing method such as Reiki. Number 2. Your intuition increases. You might be used to having a powerful intuition, but when your third eye is opening, it will reach a whole new level. You will almost always know what people around you are going to say, how they feel, who is going to call you next, or what is going to happen. Your intuition is going to guide you towards taking the right actions and meeting the right people which are meant to help you evolve on your spiritual path. Number 3. You are acquiring telepathic abilities. Suddenly you will realize that you know what another person is thinking, and they will probably confirm it through their actions and words. You can also sense when someone is thinking about you. And usually events will unfold in such a way that you will also have proof that you were right. For example, you may sense that your friend is thinking about you. Usually when this happens, you can also see their image in the back of your mind, and a few hours later they will call you saying, "I have been thinking about you the whole day." Also, other people may sense that you are thinking about them and feel the urge to contact you all of a sudden. When you know how, you can even give them a telepathic shout. At first, these things may scare you a bit, but you will get used to them and start to use your telepathic abilities to your advantage. Number 4. A feeling of slight pressure between the eyebrows. This is the first sign that your third eye is opening. You will experience a constant feeling of pressure in the middle of your forehead where the Ajna chakra is situated, similar to a light touch. It may be confusing at first, especially when the feeling of pressure becomes stronger, as if someone was touching you, but there is no reason to worry. You are not imagining it or going crazy. You are just in the process of your third eye opening. Number 5. You become more clairvoyant. Before an important event will take place, whether it is positive or negative, you are going to sense its imminence, or even have flashes with images depicting such certain event. In that way, you may be warned in order to avoid going to certain places where something catastrophic will happen, or you can be drawn to attend certain events that will have a positive impact on you. It is very important that you take these visions seriously because they are meant to keep you and your actions within the divine plan. When you don't trust in what is being shown to you, you may lose your gift. Number 6. You experience frequent lucid and vivid dreams. Your dreams will become more clear than ever, and they will contain messages from your angels and spirit guides. These dreams can be about certain events from the past that need to be resolved, and emotional pains that need to be healed in order for you to move forward. Or even messages about what the future holds in store for you. Either way, it is best to take action after each dream. When an unresolved problem comes up, try to meditate upon it, see how it makes you feel, who you need to forgive, or what conversations you need to have in order to resolve it. When your dream is about people you are going to meet or about events that are going to happen, try to facilitate those events by going in the indicated places or look for the indicated person. Number 7. You become more conscious of what you are eating. Food is energy, and it has a certain vibration and information attached to it. When your third eye is opening, you become more sensitive to these vibrations. Your body will go through a process of rebalancing and readjusting its vibration. Therefore, there will appear sudden changes in the way you are eating. For example, you may struggle with eating meat, as you might feel the fear and pain that the animal felt before being killed. Another change that can occur is that you might feel the need to eat more natural, non-processed food. You can resort to growing your own vegetables or buying them from a farmer rather than from a supermarket. This will be your body's way of filtering out foods that cause damage to your body on a physical and energetic level, while forcing you to choose foods that nourish you and raise your vibration.
So what he's saying is food raises your vibration, y'all. Food raises your vibration. Okay? Like strawberries and blueberries and all that good stuff that tastes good that you don't want to eat all the time. That stuff stops you from having dementia.
Number 8. You start noticing all the synchronicities in your life. Even though synchronicities have always been a part of our lives, they might be hard to spot for a person who is not spiritually awakened. Often they are just interpreted as mere coincidences. But when your third eye is opening, you will understand that there is no such thing as coincidences, because the universe always has a plan that will unfold in a certain way. You start understanding that certain people appear in your life or certain events happen exactly at the right time in order to guide you on your spiritual path. Once you have commenced your spiritual journey, you will be aware of these synchronicities and you will understand their meaning as well. Synchronicities are meant to give you a deeper understanding of life and show you that everything happens in accordance with the divine plan and for your greater good. Number 9. Increased light and sound sensitivity. Once your third eye has started to open, you become more sensitive to lights and sounds. Therefore, you might have to avoid places with very loud music or very bright lights because you might have a hard time tolerating them. Also, you might see some colors appearing brighter than before, or you will be able to see a broader range of colors than you were ever able to see. This is due to the fact that your consciousness is expanding and you are able to see more both in the physical and spiritual realm. Number 10. Seeking a higher life purpose. With all the synchronicities that you start to notice and increased intuition, telepathic and clairvoyant abilities, you also begin to feel the need for a more meaningful life. You will suddenly feel the urge to create a life in which you are connected to your highest purpose. All souls are incarnated on earth with a divine mission, and the older the soul, the higher the calling. Many old souls will experience the opening of their third eye in their present life. The fact that your third eye is opening is also a sign that you shouldn't ignore your true calling and your divine mission anymore, and your whole being will prompt you to start making changes. Therefore, you will try to establish more meaningful relationships and will feel the urge to devote your time to what really matters to you. For example, if you had always felt that your real
Y'all get that? That's real game right there.
calling is to be a writer, now you will feel the urge to finally take action in that direction. You will be drawn to activities and jobs through which you can have a positive impact on society and make a real change, whether that implies changing your career or devoting your spare time to helping those less fortunate. I hope this video was really helpful to you.
So y'all, that's it. That's all we finna watch right now. And I hope you guys really enjoy the show. And please like and subscribe. And I hope this is really helpful for y'all. Because it was helpful for me. I got to start changing a couple of things I do. And start developing some habits that I don't have. What I need to say. But anyway, y'all, before we go, I'd like to share a song with y'all. Another one from that artist, Miss Barbie Bone. This is called A Lie Versus the Truth.
Cash money on me. Yeah, I got the cash money on me. Cash money on me. Cash money on me. Cash money on me. Got all that money on me. Got them dollars, I got them bills, I got the school of scratch, yeah, it's real. I got the skrilla, I got that blue, yeah, I'm a killer. When I come up looking so good, sexy, yeah, when I ride real good in my truck, I don't know what's up. I ain't tripping, but I don't give up. Like the sunshine, keep on riding, bling bling, you know, and I keep on shining. With my diamonds on my fingers and a couple on my tip. One on my feet, from head to toe, you better know it's Swiss Barbie Bone. I'm walking through your door, I'm letting you know that I'm here for show. I got cash money on me, cash money on me. I got the cash money on me, cash money on me, cash money on me. I need 20 more, and so I can see. I need 20 bills, no, not meal, and I ain't even tripping, yeah, swallow that pill. I need that money right now. M-O-N-D-Y down. I ain't even tripping, put it all in my hand. Let you understand that I am that man. Yeah, don't knock it. I ain't even tripping, just drop it on down. Give it to the